I went to school to be an English high school teacher. When I graduated, I started working at a charter school. I had 6 different preps, no curriculum given to me. Everything was me making it from scratch. I'd wake up at 4 a.m., work all day, and I would leave after the janitor. My students couldn't read. It was maybe like 5 out of all of them could read. I wasn't trained in what to do about that, so I noticed all these behaviors that I always hear other teachers saying to me now. And I go, oh yeah, I've heard that. Like, I know exactly what you mean. They glaze over, they'd have the book open in front of them, but they wouldn't turn the page when I was reading. They would freak out. Everyone suddenly had to go to the bathroom. It was just all these behaviors I didn't understand. So I went back to my professor and I said, Dr. Pasquarelli, I don't really know what's going on. I don't think any of my kids can read. And she said, well, if they can't read, then if you want to learn how to teach them, you should join our master's program. She's like, yeah, our literacy master's program. She's like, you're not trained in how to teach reading. You need to do that. And I kind of believed the stereotype that an English teacher was supposed to be somebody who could teach reading, but you're not. You're just a content area teacher. I went back and I got my master's. I did the 3-year program. I became a certified reading specialist. I had to teach students reading for the very first time. It occurred over a summer. So I got a taste of it under her guidance, and then I was released to the world. There's nothing like the feeling of teaching a kid how to read. Their whole world changes, their attitude shifts, they have more confidence in themselves, they don't feel as lost at school, like they can follow what's happening in the classroom now. I had students who couldn't even read an exit sign. I started teaching them letters and the letter sounds, they looked around the room for the first time and they saw things they never saw before. And it was, like I said, addicting. So I wanted more of it. I wanted to spread the joy. I wanted to start teaching teachers how to do this. The reason that I ended up hopping so much is because when I got into the school and I was hired as a reading specialist or a literacy coach, I was given a curriculum and I was told I had to follow that curriculum, and the curriculum was not always grounded in the science of reading. It's the equivalent of giving a dull blade to a surgeon and asking them to perform heart surgery. It's not going to look good. If they don't have the proper tools, they just can't make the change. So I got frustrated because I kept entering schools where my hands were tied and I knew what to do and I was being told I couldn't do it. It was a terrible feeling. I ended up going to a friend of mine named Rebecca, and I said, I think I'm gonna leave teaching, and she said, you can't do that, like, they need you. And my friend Deirdre Tarpey said, you can't do that, Heather. I don't think that the problem isn't that you're in education, the problem is that you're being hired by people who already have a set path, and they're not looking for change. And so if you want to help people shift and change, then you need to work outside of their system. You need to be a consultant. You need to have your own company. My husband told me to go for it, so I started the company in January of 2020. 70% of students nationwide can't read proficiently and write proficiently, and it's not their fault. It's not because they're lazy. It's not the teacher's fault. It's not even the principal's fault or the special educators. Really, what's happening is we're just not training people in the science of reading, not knowing how to teach your students how to read or write, not knowing if the tools in front of you are any good. You should be smarter than your curriculum. The vision for Root Literacy is that every single teacher and educator knows how to teach students how to read and write, to help educators implement evidence-based literacy practices and give them the support to do so through tools, training, and mentorship. We have trainings for practitioners where you can learn about the science of reading. We have a practicum. Everything is virtual and online. We have a whole online mentorship program just for them. And it's really important to us that every time you talk to somebody from our company or from our organization, you're talking to someone who's walked in your shoes. And so we only hire current educators who do this work every single day. Root Literacy Design has also become sort of like an educational tool house. So every single tool that you can find on either Amazon or our online store at rootliteracydesign.com. Everything has been created with teachers and trialed in classrooms and has gotten direct feedback from them. The other thing we have is a free tools page. You definitely want to check that out. There's things for practitioners, coaches, and school leaders. A ton of free downloads on there. Most of it has been born because they said, I wish I had this. And so they say, Heather, I wish I had a whiteboard to teach letter formation. I wish I had a book to teach, the common prefixes. I wish I had this, I wish I had that. And I have a list. I have a really long list. We believe in giving back and helping educators, so we have multiple ways that we're trying to do that. Our YouTube channel and our blog, that's all free information where we're showing you strategies, showing you how to implement and do things. It's one thing to learn about the science of reading, but then it's, okay, how do I do it? What does it actually look like? What am I saying tomorrow? What is the thing I'm putting in front of the kid? That's a main thing with Root Literacy, is we want the people who do the work to be the ones who guide others.